We often get asked what it's like to work on a cover shoot, or what the celebrities that we work with are like. So we decided to let you guys in on the action. For the March issue of Pet Prints magazine, you'll be able to scan and click through to the live interview with our cover star and cookbook author, Jenny Marise. You'll also be able to see some candid behind the scenes shots and some never before seen angles on our social media channel. To make sure you don't miss out, be sure to go and click that follow button. Let's go. Jenny, it's such a pleasure to have you as our cover model for the March issue of Pet Prints magazine. You've got such a busy career, yet everything you do, you show such a love for animals. Tell us a bit about your own dogs.
My own dogs, I think they're an extension of myself. They're my family. And yeah, my dogs are very, very spoilt. They sleep inside, not outside. They eat well. I love my animals.
What are their names?
I have strange names. The one's called Tutti. My son was like, you can call the dog Tutti. I have a Tutti, I've had an Ugrish, I've had an Ubu, I've had an Optel. I like giving them different names, you know.
Tell us a little bit about Optel.
Optel was a rescue. In fact, Optel we kidnapped. No, we didn't. Someone said to me, can you just look after this dog for a week while we find a home for her? And Optel was in such a bad state when she came to me. She was really, she had broken, her legs had been broken, and they kind of knitted themselves. So she was like this really funny dog, and she had biliary and all kinds of things. So I was fostering her, and Optel became a family member until the day she died.
Never went home.
She never left. She had no teeth. I mean, she was just too ugly and gorgeous.
Have the dogs ever made any appearances in your TV show or on your radio show?
Well, Tutti has been on my radio show quite a few times, and my Weimaraner, Ugrish, he's been on during COVID. You know, I did a lot of filming from home, and I can't keep my dogs out of the kitchen, so they were uninvited guests, but they became stars.
So is there anything specific that you do or special that you do to include the dogs into your daily routine?
I think everything that happens in my home with my animals is so organic. You know, like in the morning, you'll hear Tutti will come up the stairs, and her tail starts beating at the door, and I think, okay, it's time to open up. So then she'll come in and kiss me and say good morning. We go down to the kitchen, I put the kettle on, and then they wait, because they know the minute their fridge opens, it's polony or it's a bicky or it's a whatever, you know. So they're part of that ritual in the morning, and then I'll open the front door and they go flying out and waking up the neighborhood.
So they're a bit loud.
Yeah, but it's a special time. That morning time with them is very, very special.
Your career has spanned so many exciting platforms, from starring on the Food Network series and running your own cooking school, The Giggling Gourmet. How has teaching at your cooking school enriched your culinary journey?
Do you know what I love about teaching is that, and you talk about enriching, for me it's enriching someone's life. It's teaching them skills. So I teach through edutainment because I'm naughty and I'm cheeky. And people don't even know that I'm teaching them something. And for me, I get such satisfaction when someone walks away from my stove and they're already taking pictures and they're sending them out. I had this man at my stove once, and he said, I don't cook. And I thought, you don't cook? Let Jenny get you.
I'll show you.
Yeah, so I said, that's fine. You just stand next to me and chat with me, and I'll do the cooking. And I had eventually this person stirring in the pot. And I had him, because I do team building as part of what I do. And I said, okay, let's call your teams and let's plate. He took ownership of that. And he said, I cooked that. I'm going to do that. By the time that man left, it was a Friday, he demanded the recipe. So that's what my cooking school does for me. It gives me such pleasure to share what I've learned, you know, with other people and empowering them. Even if they get one dish right, especially the boys that make frittata, it's not about the etchings, darling. It's about that food on the plate.
Is there a growing trend in people cooking for their animals?
I think so. You know, and I'm not knocking any commercial product, because I use a commercial product that's very, very good for it, because I've seen the difference in my animals. But I grew up, my parents used to breed Maltese poodles, and it was my job to every day take the liver and grate it, and the chopped carrot and the fresh parsley, and give it to these dogs. So I grew up with cooking veggies for my animals. So I supplement their diet with lots of
And they enjoy the
tidbits and
veggies,
nice things. Yeah,
like
they love.
broccoli.
Oh, you know what? I have a cat who you cannot leave a punnet of broccoli out because she just hops into. Her name's Nunky Punky, by the way. She's gone. She's late. But Nunky Punky, you couldn't leave corn and you couldn't leave broccoli because she would just like chow into it. My little girl Pepper at home loves carrots. She loves carrots. I give her raw carrot, cooked carrot. I mean, she'll sit and wait. And both she and Tootie love watermelon. I don't know if it's really good for them, but it can't do them that much
long as
harm.
they
It's
do,
not
don't
very,
eat
very.
the pits.
No, I don't give them the seeds, but everything in moderation in life.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. So
That's stunning.
yeah, so I think dogs need veggies.
But they do.
They really do. It's a balanced diet.
You've not only built a career around food, but you've also had a huge heart for animal welfare. We love the work that you did for Tat for Tails with the SPCA. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened at Tat for Tails?
Okay, if anybody knows Jenny Morris, you know that even for me to take paracetamol, I don't like putting things in my body because I like to keep my body as natural as possible. So when I was approached by the SPCA, I used to like walk the dogs when I was a kid and clean cages and all kinds of things at the SPCA. And I did a lot of stuff with the animal anti-cruelty legs to raise funds for them. So that's where my heart is, And when they said, we would like you to just have a tattoo, I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to be putting ink in my body. I think ink looks sexy on some skins, but I didn't know if I wanted it on me. And they said, we're sure we could raise some money if we used you. So I gave it some thought and I did it. And it was public, everyone watched me getting hysterical and having this ink going into my body. I have the most beautiful little lily on my back, let me tell you. If you pay me, I'll show you. We'll give that money back to the SPCA. And I raised 168,000 Rand,
Well done,
which is amazing,
That's stunning.
And it's such a lovely program. So everybody go and get inked.
Everybody has to get in. Tat for Tails is actually
it's right now.
Yeah, it's actually
right
going
now,
on.
yeah.
We heard that you met the Lionel's Choice team at the event.
Yes.
And you've since decided to switch brands. Do you feel that this is a complementary product to their diet?
I have to tell you, when I speak about my little Pepper dog, Pepper has always had a skin problem. And if you look at that dog, she's almost 17. Since I have switched her diet to Lionel's Choice, and by the way, I'm not being paid to say this, I cannot tell you the difference in this dog. Unbelievable. And of course this Miss Tootie, she comes from an underprivileged background. All she would eat all day, and I just felt that she wasn't getting enough in her diet. And this dog is so healthy. You can look at her teeth, her eyes, look at her coat. So yeah, it was my choice to use Lionel's Choice for them.
Okay. For those who are watching the show and not sure who Tootie is running around here. She's a black Labrador.
Yeah.
How old is Tootie?
Tootie is 3 years old. Her name could have been Boomsy, but we decided to call it Tootie.
And how did she come into your life?
You know what? My old dog was coming to the end of his. And I just thought whoever goes first, Pepper or Ugrish, one of them is going to miss the other. And I thought, let me introduce a new baby just to keep the other one company. And they could teach them, or they could teach her, which they did. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And so that's how Tootie happened. And I've always had one breed, but always rescues as well alongside that, because I'm passionate about Vietnamese. And that's how Tootie happened. So we went and she chose us. We were looking at all the ugliest dogs we could see that we thought no one would take. And then I have another rescue that my tenant has downstairs, and it's a boy. And there was one really ugly old man there, and I thought, no, he's going to get bullied.
Shame.
So we decided to go for a younger dog and a female.
Yes.
And that's how Tootie happened.
And
She chose us.
Black dog syndrome is a real thing. So
Yes,
I'm really
yes.
happy that you decided to adopt a little
I
black
know,
doggy.
absolutely.
They're stunning.
Yeah.
Do you have you have fostered before?
I have fostered.
Do you have any fond memories or quirky stories of something that happened while you were fostering? Because this is what normally happens. There's
Do you
a
know
lot
what? I'd like to go back to the Optel story, because what happened with Optel was because I don't want to say where we got her, but it was somewhere close to where we live. And we put food on the balcony to start. And just because this dog was so undernourished, it was terrible. And my children loved her, and they used to sneak food to her. And I thought, if we can capture her, we'll give her to somebody who can find her a home. And that's how they said, why don't you foster her? And then we'll whatever. So, but in the beginning, when we got her, my son Darren was sleeping, and this dog loved Darren. And I opened the sliding door, and this dog followed the scent to my child's bedroom and climbed in the bed and licked his face and loved him all over. And I thought, I better get this dog out of this house before my husband sees it. Okay. This was before she said, can you foster? And when Darren woke up that morning, he said, you know, Mommy, I had the most beautiful dream. He said, I could actually feel Octo was licking me all over my face and putting her nose in my neck. So that is the one story about my little foster that became a permanent fixture that I can never, ever forget.
That's nice.
And Pepper, that's also naughty Pepper. She came for a home visit. And this dog just got on the table. And I thought, yeah, Pepper would have been amazing in the kitchen. She just dived onto the table, and we all fell in love with her. But I thought, how are we going to break that dirty habit? You know, she's like, and
like
she's on, yeah. But Pepper chases cats. And when I took her, they said, no, she was brought up in a cat. We should love cats, really.
Not so much.
No, she didn't like cats too much.
Jenny, I know you baked this famous doggy birthday cake. Would you show me how to do that?
Darling, I'm not only will I show you, I'll give you a slice.
Jenny, I'm just going to start this by quoting Emma O'Brien. I am more comfortable operating a nuclear reactor than I am in the kitchen. So I'm really going to need your guidance here today.
Darling, when I've got you in the palm of my hand, trust me, you're going to cook everything. I'm going to heat the pan.
Brilliant.
So this is this birthday cake, all right? It takes chicken livers, which are rich in iron. It's absolutely delicious. My doggies don't like them overcooked. They like them a little bit medium rare. This is going to go in the oven and cook again. Okay? So basically, you're going to work. I'm going to give you the easy stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of olive oil. I want you to paint all over the sides, everywhere. Okay. I don't like to use spray because that spray is a little bit artificial for my dogs. They don't like it.
The organic dogs.
Yeah, they're organic. Okay. Well, they're organic-ish.
So what inspired this recipe?
What inspired this recipe was, you know, people these days, they dress their dogs and they celebrate their dogs, and their dogs become their children. I mean, I've got 3 children, but I've also got lots of animals, so they're my kitties too. So you want to celebrate your doggies. And often you hear people talk about, I want to make my dog a cake. No, it's too much sugar, all of that kind of stuff's not good for your dog. So pure protein is, though. So for me, I thought, chicken livers, chicken breast, all of that stuff is going to make a delicious cake. And by the time we have iced this cake, you are definitely going to want a slice.
Are there anything that you would suggest people avoid when cooking for their pets?
Well, you know what? We're not just talking about a cake now. I know people are so keen to feed what you're eating to your dogs. But I mean, if you're eating things like chocolate and raisins and that kind of thing, it's not good for your dog.
Yeah, they're not allowed to.
No. So I'd give, if I'm going to give anything off my plate, it'll be not even potato, funny enough, but it'll be rice and corn and that type of thing. So don't give your dog sweets and things, any artificial.
No, any like sugary things.
No.
Xylitol especially, I know it's very, very toxic.
Yeah, very toxic. And you don't realize, so many foods have it, but you know, your dog sits there and it wants a little bite, and you just give it that little bit. It's not good. You're not seeing them any flavors. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to take these breasts, have a look, these are D cups, nice and big. Look, we're going to cover the bottom of this, like so, and you can paint them with a little bit of olive oil again if you'd like. No salt, no pepper. They don't need it. They don't eat like that in the wild. And Lionel's choice doesn't have salt and pepper in it either, so there. Cool. And just another little one.
How many chicken breasts do we need?
You know what, it depends on how many dogs are coming to the party. But I mean, I'm making a really nice big one here, but you could just make a little tiny one. You can just adjust this, okay, to suit. So now I've just done this with the chicken livers. Make sure that you trim the chicken livers, because it's just because you're giving it to your animal doesn't mean you don't trim it. You know, you got that it's that funny green stuff called gold, yeah, it's not nice. And your animals don't like it. So it's not good for them. So you make sure whatever you're getting for animals, you can eat yourself. Okay. At the end of the day. I don't give mine bones, by the way.
I don't think you're supposed to.
No, you're not supposed, but they love marrow. So bring this and pop it here. You can just stick it in the middle.
Okay.
And we're going to just stick, look at these beautiful plants. No peri-peri, you're not doing them any favors. If you would like to add anything more to this, you could put a bit of carrot. But what mine like is they like the crunch and they like it to be bulked with Lionel's Choice.
Okay.
I do this. So, because my Twitty is no longer a puppy, she's a big girl now. So she wants a big girl food.
How many cups of Lionel's Choice do you suggest we put in this huge cake?
I think in this big cake I'm going to go. Yes, like when you make a cheesecake and you put the bickies on the bottom. Well, these bickies are going in the middle. These are really, really lovely. And what's nice about this freeze as well. So you can have the whole ceremony at home and you can have the candles and blow them out and you can cut it in wedges and freeze it.
That's done.
And bring it out, when it's the time. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Smells good. There, look at that. Okay. So you want to just spread that out like so. And now, my darling, we're going to take these chicken breasts and we're going to just open them out like this. And we're going to go like this, all over the top and around the sides.
So,
You just tuck that in.
so when was the first time that you baked this cake?
I've been doing it for a couple of years. And I actually built a bake one for my friend Julian Naidu, who was doing it for his little dog, who is my godchild, whether he thinks it's my godchild, but I love his little doggy. So they had this dinner party and he said they all ate it, not the dogs, but the guests. It's lovely. You'll see once it's...
Once it's the same?
Yes. Do you want to get your hands chickeny?
We can.
Yes, because we've got water. So you go around the side and tuck it down, okay? Just help me out here. There you go, darling. It's just that one little side there. And then
And what about Tutti? Does she enjoy this cake?
Tutti just loves this cake. Tutti loves food. Tutti loves anything. And if you give her half a chance, she will gobble up anything inside.
Labrador.
No, but you're a Labrador. And she digs.
And she swims, I hope.
And she swims. And she bites things. And she destroys things. And in the first 2 years of her life, I put, I'm taking you back. Well, I frightened everybody at home by saying that they were horrified. I would never give Tutti up for anything. Or maybe some money. Tutti goes on there.
Tutti's quite a pampered little princess.
She is a real little princess. She's my little queen.
Is this right?
Yes, you do.
In the right direction?
Yes, you go, girl. So, and what's nice about this, you can just kind of spread it like so, because as it cooks, the meat swells.
Okay.
And I normally put a little tray underneath this because it gets all that lovely juice from the livers. Okay. There we go.
And what about the rest of the doggy party? Do you have any other suggestions? What can we add to the dishes?
No, not really. Because dogs love meat.
Okay.
So I just...
Happy with the meat?
She's so happy with the meat. And stop putting hats on your animals and making it look stupid. Give them a squeaky toy there.
Party favors.
Yeah, party favors. All right, so this is like this. It's ready. It's going to go into the oven 180 and you're going to cook it for about 30 minutes. You're going to bring it out. And I normally cover it with foil. And because I like to cook it on something, I want to trap those juices.
Yes.
So once it's cooled down, throw the juice back on again. Okay, so now this is going into the oven, but like TV, we've made one already because it's nice to ice it when it's cold. So I'm going to just smear some cream cheese because doggies can eat cream cheese. But also, once again, you don't want to give your dogs too much fat. But they're only getting a slice.
Balanced diet.
Yeah, slice at a time.
Jeannie, you've done so much with writing cookbooks and hosting TV shows. Do you have any favorite moments from TV that you can share with us?
Do you know, I have wonderful moments. I have so many moments. And it's probably difficult for me to share every single one of them with you. But when I filmed in Morocco, I had moments with the ladies in Morocco because they're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to publicly go out and earn a living. So they put them in little co-ops and they get like menial things to do. And I was filming with this family And I was cooking lamb for them. They'd gone and they'd slaughtered this lamb for me. Oh, they made this disgusting sausage. They call it cordees. It smelled like poo because it had the intestines stuffed with lungs and all kinds of funny things. And you don't want to insult anybody, you know. So I said, my cameraman must eat it. And he had the most weakest stomach ever. Anyway, these ladies, their husbands are never home. You know, they go out to the Netherlands, they go to Spain, and they work and they bring money back to their families. And they have a ceremony when the man comes back where they take the lady, they have these coals, burning coals over this bucket, and they make you stand like this, and they put every incense, every frankincense, everything in this thing, and the smoke envelops you, and you can't get it out of your pores, and that's supposed to make you attractive for your husband. And it was one of the most precious moments ever. And so these girls were doing this for me, for something, they only do it for each other. So they were sharing that with me. And then they came up with the most revolting perfumes, and they sprayed me from head to toe that I wanted to vomit. It was a stunk. You know, any man would never want to come near me, something like that.
What an experience, though.
It was a very special moment where ladies came together for other women. And that's what we don't do. There's a special place in hell for women that don't do good things for other women. Are you listening? And they were there for each other, you know, to make them attractive and ready and happy and beautiful for their husbands. So there are lots of special moments. I met young girls, young children, people that just really touched my heart. I wanted to bring back home. Animals. Oh, my goodness.
Suitcase full of animals.
No, the cats of Morocco. If I could have smuggled those babies in, sure.
And what about upcoming projects? Is there anything that you're doing that's coming up that you want to talk about?
Well, you know, I am writing a new cookbook.
This is your 7th.
My 7th cookbook, yes. And it's called Greedy Girl, Jenny Morris, because I want to eat everything and lots of it. So, yeah, that's a new one for me. And I've got a nice big overseas trip coming up in March, which is wonderful. I'm going to see my little granddaughter. So that's very important to me. It's not work, it's pleasure.
No, but it's you need to take some time off and spend that with somebody. How old is she?
She's 11. I haven't seen her for 9 years.
Okay.
I see her over the camera, but that's not like being with your grandchild.
Same.
Yes. So,
and no doubt you will be cooking for them as well.
That always happens if I never take a holiday, because I have a friend who forces me to cook for people.
Yeah.
I know you don't. Okay, sweetheart, so what I need from you are carrots, because Tutti loves carrots, Pepper loves carrots. So, whoops, don't worry. That's good. You woke Tutti up.
Nuclear reactor.
So this is just cream cheese with nothing in it, okay? It's real cream cheese. It's really beautiful. You're going to, wherever I have a blob like this, you're going to take one of these. So we boiled the carrots. They still have lovely texture. And you're going to just pop it over like that, okay? And then while you do that, I'm going to take some of my little Lionel's Choice kibble and stick it in like that.
It's like a cherry.
Yes.
Cool.
It's a proper doggy cherry. So off you go, darling.
Okay.
And then let's do this, because then we're next to each other. And then I'm going to take these little baby stars, and I'm going to push the stars, the carrot stars, all over the cake.
Like that?
Yes. Keep going, and you can just keep...
Stunning.
See, my dog is worth Carol Boy's, so even prove it. I tried my Carol Boy's cake stand. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. And then, when you've done that, let's quickly get all these little baby stars all over the show.
Globs on.
Yeah. We do that for you. You go that way. I'm going to come here. Look at that. We're going to have one happy dog. But you've got dogs as well.
I do. They would be so impressed if I brought something like this home. I don't think I would ever get a chance to cook it for them, because they beg. And I can't say no.
Well, I'm like you. I'm one of them. I can't say no to anything.
Tell us a bit about your new cookbook.
My new cookbook. Do you know what? I could never stick to a theme, because I am a greedy girl. So I want a little bit of everything.
It's a bit of cheeky.
It'll have lots of cheeky in it. But it's quite eclectic. And I've been so fortunate to travel and to taste authentic dishes. And I want to share that with people because everyone thinks, oh, you know what, Thai food is hard to cook or Vietnamese food is hard to cook. It's so simple. It's just that you've got to put the right things together. It's like a marriage, you know. Just put the right ingredients.
So it's a lot of international kind of cuisine.
Yes, and mummy food and local food and just good food, really. Easy stuff.
And when will the cookbook be available?
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for the pressure from my publisher. I haven't been given a production date yet or the final.
Well, please let us know when it is.
And
And so share in the...
We can maybe give a few away to our readers.
That would be stunning.
Yeah,
I'm sure we have quite a few readers who would enjoy a book.
Yes. And there'll be lots of vegetarian dishes in there as well, because I like vegetarian food. I love my vegetables.
It's a good balance
Of course there is.
from meat to veggies.
There you go. Now keep going, darling. Put the stars on it. Here we go. We're done and done. So we're going to cut it, and maybe I can invite my Twitty into this kitchen and give her a little taste.
I think we should. I definitely think we should. Jenny, thank you so much for inviting us into your kitchen today and being such an inspiration. I think everybody after watching this knows how to make a doggy cake and would be more than able to do this. Do you have any words of inspiration for our readers who are looking to foster or to adopt animals?
Well, I can guarantee you, if you foster, you're going to fall in love. And you don't have to adopt, you just keep them. But you know what? There are so many little dogs out there that need training, especially puppies. And they've got more chance in life if they're house trained.
Yes.
And they've learned a couple of rules. And you can socialize them with other animals that you have in your house, especially if you have cats, you know, to introduce them. Because that for me is, I always find that that's the first thing people ask when they have cats is, will the dog get on with my cat? And often you'll see a lot of these things saying to a home with no cats. So foster, especially if you have cats, bring that puppy into your home. Keep it or let it go to a good home after you've taught it good manners.
Good manners. How can our readers get in touch with you?
Wow, 555. Now, you know what? You can get me on social media. On social media, Jenny Morris Chef. You can leave me a message. I would give you my cell phone number, but then I'd have to take their credit card because people are naughty. They say such terrible things. I'll charge you for that. But social media at Jenny Morris Chef.
Thanks, Jenny. Thank you for everybody who's watched this. I know this is a pilot episode and it's probably far from perfect, but we do appreciate everybody, and to the whole crew, everybody who was involved with today. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. We'll see you with the next episode.